Hi snooker fans, Curtis Braithwaite here for snookerfans.co.uk. Just catching up with the Warrior after his 10-4 victory over Scott Donaldson in the first round of the World Championships. Kyren, how are you, pal?
Not bad, thanks, mate. Yourself?
Yeah, fantastic, mate, fantastic. Always good to come down to the Kenwood and catch up with you after a victory, mate, as we are today.
Yeah, it's always a place I like to come and stay. Quite a nice hotel and get well looked after. So yeah, nice to see you here again.
Absolutely, pal. Now, good positive start to the tournament. 10-4 victory. Couple of big breaks as well, pal. Your long potting was phenomenal. As there's a little montage on BBC that they've shown of long pots in the game, pal. So how are you feeling?
Yeah, I think that was probably the key, really. I think my long game sort of got me out of a lot of trouble. It was kind of starting to bog itself down a little bit. I felt that Scott was a little bit nervous, which is, completely understandable on your debut. And yeah, just obviously pleased to get through a potential banana skin. You've seen a lot of top players bomb out quite early this year, so pleased to not be on that list.
Absolutely, and he came for a mammoth qualifying session, didn't he? Finishing right late in the night. 10-9 as well, pal.
Not only that, that was a tough win. Lu Ning, he's had a great season. So fair play to Scott. He had a good run to get here.
Good to see the family up here as well. Caught up with your mum and dad, I think it was yesterday or the day before.
Yeah.
Obviously got your brother Taylor here, Barry here. Good team around you, pal, which is always massively important, especially at a tournament like this as well.
Yeah, I think all the family, they obviously enjoyed coming up to Sheffield, loved the World Championships. I've always got Barry and he's always with me. And obviously adding Taylor to my little team has been, nice for me to have a bit of family with me, 24/7. So yeah, it can potentially be a very long sort of time up here. So if you've got good people around you, it just makes the time, go a little bit quicker and, a little bit more enjoyable. So, I think my mum and dad are coming up tomorrow morning. Obviously play at 10, so they're going to have to get the skates on in the morning to make it in time. But it'd be nice to see them all again.
Absolutely, pal. And just touching on Taylor, because it's been a massive thing recently. I know Judd Trump's done the same thing with Jack as well. What's it like having your little brother on tour with you and him around you all the time?
Yeah, it's nice. Like I was saying to you before we started this, I went to Daching this year and it was the third time going to China when my luggage hadn't turned up. And, for my game the next day, my head just wasn't in the right frame of mind. And if you can have just someone like your brother that's there that can, try and spark you into life and make you get over these little goings on, even if you were to win one match, it makes it all worthwhile for me. So, it's something I felt like I needed to do. I'm fortunate enough to be in a position that, I can do that. And, what better person to take on than obviously a family member.
No, absolutely, pal. Now, touching on your season, it's been a great one so far, winning the Paul Hunter, winning the German Masters as well. We talked in Berlin, didn't we, about the little German slam that you've done, pal. Yeah. But just your game in general. I mean, you've flown up the rankings, you've really hit the heights recently, haven't you? And you've become like a serial winner, towards the end of tournaments as well.
Yeah.
Made the one table set up last year, pal. Really positive times, isn't it?
Yeah, it's I have to pinch myself sometimes because it's all happened so quickly for me as well. I won the Shanghai sort of back end of 2015. So when you put it into context, it's only been like 3.5 years. That I've been doing all of this, and I feel like I've held my own and done okay, and I'm sort of like edging up the ladder, sort of closer and closer to doing bigger and better things. So obviously, career's heading in the right direction. I feel like I do things in the right way. I try and be professional and work as hard as I can and give myself the best opportunity for every event. And, this event has been no different. And, that's all you can do. It's such a tough sport. You're not going to succeed all the time. But if you keep putting yourself in the mix, then, hopefully you get there one day.
Absolutely, mate. Now, Barry Hawkins up for your next. A tough one, kicking off tomorrow morning, pal. Thoughts on that one?
Yeah, like you say, a very tough one. Probably one of the best records at the Crucible of recent years. Very consistent there. I think he's quite like myself. You just have certain venues that you just thrive off and you enjoy coming to. He must feel that way with the results that he gets. So, I'm sure it'll be a good game. I've got to obviously get off to a good start and play a little bit better than I did in the last round to have any chance of beating him. Yeah,
definitely. I think Barry's safety is pretty good, but like I said, your long potting's been excellent as well. So it's going to be like a bit of a war of attrition there, isn't he? He puts you on the rail, you slam one in, isn't he?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to rake a few in, I think. But no, I quite enjoy playing someone like Barry. You feel like you've got to really get your teeth into a real match. He's always going to play the right shots. He's not going to go for like a worldie and pull it off. Although he's more than capable of doing that sort of thing. But I quite like thinking, I've got a real challenge here, and I like getting my teeth into that sort of match.
I just wanted to touch on something for our website, because we've got a lot of youngsters that follow the site and that, and now you getting yourself firmly into the top 16. Have you got any advice for any young players, like taking up the game? And because obviously a couple of years ago that was a position you were in. I remember watching you on the pass and watching your career grow as it has done now, getting yourself as a firmly established top 16 player. But what advice would you give to any youngsters?
I would say, based on sort of my own experiences, don't put yourself under too much pressure. Try and enjoy what you can, and also don't take it for granted. The money that you can earn in snooker now is amazing, and my first year on tour I didn't work hard enough. I played at it instead of working at it, so I'd always sort of have that saying in the back of your mind, work at it, don't play at it. And if you obviously put the dedication in, then you can reap the rewards. Snooker's heading in such a great direction now with Barry Hearn and the amount of tournaments we've got. The money's going up each year. So it's a nice healthy sport now. It's got a bit of a clean-cut image to it,
yep,
rather than the booze and the smoking. Obviously get your teeth stuck in, enjoy it, and give the game the respect it deserves.
Just touching on the money, because you can't escape it. A little cool $500,000 there for the winner of this tournament.
Yeah,
wow,
it's
great
massive,
prize money.
isn't it? Massive. I did a little thing on what Joe Davis earned, I think, at the Crucible in the House of Frames that BBC is showing, and it was something like 3,000 throughout his whole career. And I know back then, money was a bit different, but when you look at it now, it's like mind blowing. And it probably would have been, 7-8 years ago, people would have been saying snooker was on its backside and it was a dying sport. But now we've got more tournaments than ever. Like you say, the prize money's going up and up and up, and it's fantastic to be a part of it.
And Kyren, I just want to touch on one more thing before we wrap up, because I've spoken to quite a lot of the top players about it. What's your thoughts on James Cahill being here in the World Championships, like playing effectively as an amateur? What's your thoughts on that?
I think it's good, because I feel like it's such a tough school, especially the Q school. The lads that just miss out and don't quite make it. To give them a little incentive, the lads that are going to be entering this year could be looking at what James has done and think, it's not the be-all and end-all if I don't quite make it, but what an opportunity it's given him. So I think it's a great advert for Q School, firstly. And, if there's space for it, I don't see the problem in it. He's worked hard and beat a lot of good players. Fair play to him.
Yeah, all the players said exactly what you said there. It's great to see him here, and great to see him obviously showing his talents on the biggest stage,
Yeah, exactly. And it's nice to have a young Englishman doing well as well, because, we keep seeing, although it's good for the sport, we keep seeing so many young Chinese talents come through. It's nice to see a young English talent doing well.
Well, I tell you, we're talking about young English talent. We had a tournament recently, Stars of the Future tournament, on the snooker fans. It was streamed on Facebook as well, and it was fantastic to see a couple of century breaks made. And there as well, I see Mark Allen's young son Robbie playing it as well. A couple of young juniors and all. So there definitely is some young talent out there from these shores, which is really refreshing to see.
Yeah, it's good to hear. And it's great that people are doing things like that, because I think there's not so much on the amateur scene anymore, like what I would have had back then. So it's good to have tournaments like that. I know we've seen a few in the shootout this year. There was a few young wild cards given a chance, and it was good to see them do well and have a bit of TV exposure. It's good to see, because we keep hearing there's no one coming through. So let's give these lads a good chance and obviously boost them up.
Absolutely, pal. Well, look, guys, I'm going to let Kyren shoot. He's got a practice session soon. He wants to go and have some dinner with his family. But Kyren, always a pleasure catching up with you, pal.
Thank you, you too.
And we wish you the very best against Barry Hawkins in the next round, son.
Thank you very much.
Top man.
Cheers.